So sometimes life throws you curveballs and gives you a bunch of lemons to eat. Today's turning out to be a great weather day. Hell yeah, I'm zooming, folks.
How you were here in 2024 at this very evening lighting ceremony.
This is a brand new 2025. Yeah.
If this is your first time, I'm Kyle.
And I'm Michelle, and we're the Wandering Shores.
And this is the Wander Squad, guys. Here we are! National Park number 38 for us, Wind Cave here in South Dakota. And we're going to go and explore. There's an auto tour. The actual cave tour is closed because they're renovating the elevator this summer, so we're not going to be able to take that. But there's also a ranger-led tour that we're going to go on here shortly, and we'll take you along with us. So they have wild caving tours here, and in order to go on them, you have to be able to squeeze through this box.
Time for Jim. Here he goes.
Oh no.
Is he gonna make it?
He got through. I don't think that counts.
Oh, now the man himself, Kyle. Kyle's up, folks. Will he make it?
Nope.
He's too muscular. He's very muscular, people.
That's a no.
Nice try.
So we just finished up the, like 15-minute introduction to Wind Cave and the history of it. That was pretty interesting, talking about the Dakota tribe and, their belief systems about the cave entrance and stuff. So Michelle's actually taking a photo of the entrance, which is only like 8 inches by 10 inches. It's really, really small.
You are seeing that correctly, folks. We're having some issues with our air suspension in the truck, and we had a bumpy ride here to South Dakota, going through Iowa. We thought it was just the roads, but I guess it was our air suspension. So we made a day trip to Rapid City today from Custer, and our truck is in the lowest possible position. So we think our air suspension is not working anymore. Out, folks. This is a brand new 2025.
Yeah, it's not ours.
$40 a day.
The trials that are full-time RV life. Luckily, we're with our friends, and we have got other options. And luckily, this dealership had a loaner that rental that they could rent us. So hopefully Monday I'll get word on what's going on, and we'll look at our options. I don't know. Did you explain to them what was going on, Michelle?
I did.
Yeah, the air suspension crapped out, and it's been hit or miss. We think, if you guys have watched one of our last videos where we complained about the roads in Iowa, it's very possible that it wasn't the roads, that it was in fact us, and that the air suspension wasn't working the way it was supposed to be. So I was just bouncing a lot because it felt very similar to the way Mark and Michelle and I were riding around today in my truck. So fingers crossed it's not astronomically expensive, but it's not going to be cheap either. Welcome. So today we are doing Rushmore Tramway Adventures. We are going to ride the tram up to the top, and then I think we're taking the Alpine slide kind of coaster style on the way back down. So we're here with Rick, Teresa, Jim, Michelle, Mark, Mary, and my Michelle. We took the scenic drive here. It was a little windy. I was sitting in the back seat of Mark and Mary's Jeep, and got a little car sick, I think, or at least nauseated feeling, but I survived. I need to tough it out, I guess. I'm sitting with Rick.
You're gonna leave me? Look who's riding with me.
Yeah, I got outvoted by Rick's wife, or she trumped me, I guess. Apparently all those years of marriage results in me having a ride with her. So yeah, we're out today. It's later in the evening. This place closes at 6 p.m. and it's like 5:30 right now, because we wanted to come and do this, the tram ride up, or I guess it's a ski lift up, and then we're gonna do the Alpine coasters down. All right, I'm going first, guys. That way I can get down there and film everyone. Plus I'm hoping to go the fastest. We'll see. Hell yeah, I'm zooming, folks. I haven't put the brake on yet. Hell yeah. All right, just saw Michelle's head popping around the corner. Here she comes. On that, push forward.
That was fun. That was fun.
Michelle was actually going pretty fast when we got her there captured on video. I don't know what she was doing up to that point. She may have been
going fast.
Oh, all right. So we're gonna head over to Mount Rushmore now, and probably find a place to, you know, sit down and eat our lunches that we packed / dinners, and then we'll get ready for the night show.
This place begins when I was 4 years old, and those memories are what made me who I am
It was amazing.
Yeah, a really cool ceremony and the lighting. Then they brought all the veterans down and recognized them, and then took the American flag down and folded it up and handed it to the Ranger Alex.
Yeah, it was definitely a great moment when the lights turned on and illuminated the 4 presidents.
Yeah, so heading home. See you tomorrow. All right, folks, as you can see, we are in the rental truck, but fingers crossed we got some great news.
I hope so.
So Saturday, I had reached out to the dealership to see if there was any chance they had gotten the truck in early. We were supposed to have an appointment on Monday, which is actually today. And right as they were closing, they called me and said, they asked me, hey, have you ever had this air suspension serviced? And I said, well, what do you mean serviced? And he said, well, it's got nitrogen in it, and you're supposed to have it refilled every 2 to 4 years based on where you live and how cold it is in that climate. Well, the truck's like 8 years old now, and I never knew anything about that. So he said that they checked it all out for leaks and everything. They refilled it with nitrogen, and the thing's working like a charm again. So that's best case scenario. He said he's only going to charge me the diagnostic fee plus whatever we owe on the rental. So, you know, we're probably going to get out of this for under $300, which is fantastic, because those air suspension, you know, repairs and costs range anywhere from $1,000 to $8,000 depending upon what's wrong. And we had actually started entertaining the idea of taking the air suspension off and putting new shocks and springs on it. That runs around $3,000. So we're heading up to the dealership now in Rapid City. It's about an hour and 15 minutes away, and we're gonna show you what we find out and make sure the truck's working good. So we're relieved.
Yeah, very relieved.
All right, guys, we got it back, and we didn't film before we dropped it off because we were kind of in a panic, but let me show you what it looked like. This is entry-exit mode. And when it's that low, it's just riding on the bump stops, and the back tires were, or the back air suspension was about as low. But let me show you what it's supposed to look like in the normal driving mode. So this is normal driving mode. It's good to have the Rebel back. And we've run the air suspension through a couple times, trying it, and it's been going up and down every time. And so I think that's what it was. Michelle, what do you think?
Well, I'm so relieved. And it's going up and down the way we wanted to, so we're ready. when we need to hit the road. Yay!
I think towing actually might be better because I think the aero mode that we usually tow in, which is a little bit lower than the normal, I think the back end's actually a little bit higher now than it used to be because we didn't have enough nitrogen in the system. So it came out to a total of $255. They only charged me for 2 days rental, even though I picked it up on Friday, so they were super nice. Shout out to Liberty Superstore in Rapid City, South Dakota. You guys are lifesavers. Super great, you know, service department, and most importantly, you know, when you're a full-time traveler, they're honest. I mean, they could have told me it was $3,000 and I probably would have paid it, because we need our truck, and you know, I know how expensive the suspension systems can be. So shout out Liberty Superstore, Dodge Ram, 2 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. So sometimes life throws you curveballs and gives you a bunch of lemons to eat. So as you guys saw earlier in the video, we picked up our truck on Monday. Today is Wednesday, and the suspension is not working again. Don't know what's wrong with it. It's staying at this height, which I think is kind of between entry, exit, and aero, but it's super rough ride. The suspension won't go up and down. The screen inside the cab says, sometimes it says aero, sometimes it says normal, sometimes it says off-road, but it doesn't ever move. You can hear the compressor start. So we're supposed to be out of here on Tuesday. I'm sorry, we're supposed to be out of here on Saturday in like 4 days or 3 days to go to the convergence up in Sturgis. So I reached out to the dealership. They are working on getting me another rental that I can tow with. They didn't want me to tow with the 1500 they loaned me, which is fine. It's brand new and it's a corporate vehicle. But they've got like a 1-ton truck that they loan out to people or rent out to people when they need to haul like horse trailers and stuff. So I'm hopeful that that will come in the next day or two, and I'll be able to go up and get that so that I can haul this thing up to Sturgis. I called that one auto truck accessory place and got a quote for new regular suspension and put some airbags in the back with them, but manual airbags, not the automatic system on all 4s. And it's that they said is about $3,200. The problem is they can't get me in until January. I'm sorry guys, I'm struggling right now. They can't get me in until July 12th, which is like 5 or 6 days after the convergence is over. So I'm gonna talk to our friends when they get back. Michelle doesn't even know yet. They're all back up in Rapid City right now doing some shopping and sightseeing. I'm gonna try to figure out what we want to do. It's possible maybe if I can't get the rental and I decide not to take it back to the dealership in the next day or two, that Jim can take his rig up there and maybe I'll go with him, and then I'll drive his truck back and use his pickup to haul my camper up there. And then maybe we're just gonna have to make reservations. They have reservations at the campground where we're having the event for the week after, and so maybe I'll just have to do that and just kind of sit stationary for a while, and then take this down on the 12th if that appointment is still available tomorrow when I call, or later today, and get the suspension overhauled. So I don't know, I'll keep you guys updated. It's a bit stressful. Good morning. So I'm taking, sorry, my voice is gonna, you can see how bumpy it is. I don't know if the yeah, I'm riding on pretty much no suspension. So I've got about an hour and 15-minute drive up to Rapid City. I just want to say how wonderful our group of friends are. Everybody's offering to help. Last night we got a call from Mark and Mary, who were parked with us for a while, but then moved up just a little bit north of Rapid City to a campground. And they basically, to avoid us having to get a rental, they are going to loan us their Jeep for the next 2 days while we're here. And then they're going to make arrangements to drive down here on Saturday with their big truck that they pull their 5th wheel with. I think it's a F450, and they're going to pull our camper up to Sturgis for us. and then while we're at the convergence, we should be okay because all of our friends are there and we've got, you know, access to vehicles and things should we need to run any errands. But yeah, so now it's just the long bumpy drive up to Rapid City to meet up with Mark and Mary to get the Jeep, and then to drop this car off at the dealership to hopefully get a quick answer as to what's going on, and then decide what we're gonna do. Nice.
Yeah, it was good.
So we're heading into town. As you can see, we're sitting in our friend's Jeep. Mark and Mary, shout out to you guys. We're waiting on a call from the dealership to hope to go get our truck again for the second time now that they think they figured out what was going on, and we'll share all that with you once we get confirmation it's fixed. It's been a long day, folks. So I sat in the laundromat parking lot for almost 3 hours. I had called up and they said that they were getting close to finishing it. And so I figured instead of driving all the way back to the campsite, which was 15 minutes away, I'd just stay there and it'd make it easier to get up here to the dealership. And I waited and I waited and I waited, and 3 hours passed, and they called me at like 4:11 and said, hey, it's ready. Why don't you start heading up? And then they told me they closed at 5:30, and I'm like an hour and 15 minutes away. So I made it here with 9 minutes to spare. They said they've run it through the system many times, up and down, up and down. I'm gonna do that before I head out here, but fingers crossed. So I don't know if I told you what happened. So they put the truck up on the lift yesterday and found that the rear passenger air bag was flat, which means it's got a pinhole in it, or many pinholes, who knows. And so they said that had to be replaced. They had one in stock, but they said they recommended doing both the backs, so that you don't have a brand new one over here and a crappy one over here. And so I gave them the thumbs up for that. They had to order that and overnight it. Grand total was $2,500. So we're bleeding money this month, folks, which is going to be ironic since this is the first month that we're actually going to be doing our expenses in a video at the beginning of July for the month of June. So this is not typically representative of the amount of money we spend in a month. This particular fix had to get done, and it's pretty much, in some cases, our entire budget for the month. But whatever, I gotta have the truck to drive. Michelle's back there at the camper taking care of things, getting it ready for tomorrow's move up to Sturgis for the Escapers event. So thanks for being patient and sitting through all of this car repair stuff with me. I know it's not super exciting, but it's painful and stressful, and hopefully this is the right fix. Today's turning out to be a great weather day. Dime-sized hail. All right, so the hail's slowed down a little bit. Let me show you what's out here on our carpet. I'm gonna have to get up on the roof and check the solar panels and check the vent covers.